When I was younger, I used to think that retirement would feel like crossing the finish line, a time to finally relax, slow down, and enjoy life. But when I actually retired at the age of 65, I realized something unexpected. Life doesn't stop, it just changes pace. Suddenly, I wasn't waking up to an alarm clock, but I also wasn't sure what to do with all the quiet hours in the day. That's when it hit me. It's not just about saving enough money for retirement. It's also about preparing your life to feel steady, peaceful, and full even after the work stops. Today, I want to share 9 simple things I either bought or wish I had bought before I retired. These are not big purchases. They are small, thoughtful choices that made my retired life easier, safer, and more meaningful. If you're already retired or planning to be soon, I hope these lessons from my own journey help you feel more ready and more at peace with what's ahead. 1. A good chair. Something just for you. I want to start with something simple, a chair, but not just any chair. I'm talking about a chair that's really yours, one you look forward to sitting in every single day. Now, I know it might sound silly at first. After all, we all have chairs in the house. Kitchen chairs, living room chairs, folding chairs. But when I retired, I realized I had spent most of my life sitting in places where I had to be at work, in waiting rooms, at other people's table. And none of those chairs ever felt like they belonged to me. It wasn't until I visited an old friend, Earl, that it hit me. He had one of those recliners, the kind that leans back just right, supports your lower back, and even lifts your legs if you need it. He sat down in it, smiled at me, and said, "This is my thinking chair." I laughed, but later that week, my back started hurting more than usual. I was sitting on the same couch we'd had for 20 years, sagging in the middle, and it just wasn't doing me any good. I thought about Earl, leaned forward to stand up, and winced. That was the moment I decided I was going to invest in a chair that was made for my body at this age, not the one I had when I was 40. I didn't go out and buy the most expensive one. I went to a local furniture store and tried a few until I found one that just felt right. Supportive, soft, but not too soft, with good armrests and easy to get out of. And when it was delivered, I put it by the front window, right where I could see the street and the trees and the sunset. That chair became my spot. My morning coffee chair, my reading chair, my watch the birds chair, and sometimes my nap chair too. You see, having something that's just for you, especially when you've spent your life taking care of everyone else, makes a difference. It's not selfish. It's not indulgent. It's a small act of self-respect. You've earned the right to sit in comfort. And it's not just about your back or your legs. It's about the message it sends to yourself every day. I deserve to feel at ease in my own home. If there's one physical object that changed my daily life after retirement more than any other, it was this chair. It grounded me. It gave me a routine. And in a season of life where things can start to feel unfamiliar, it gave me a familiar place to return to. 2 motion sensor lights. Peace of mind at night. Now, let's talk about something that might seem even smaller than a chair. Lights. More specifically, motion sensor lights. I never used to think much about lighting. You flip a switch, the light comes on, and that's that, right? But something changed for me one night around 2 o'clock in the morning. I got up to use the bathroom like I usually do, and instead of turning on the hallway light, I figured I'd just feel my way through the dark like I always had. Well, I forgot I had left a pair of shoes by the wall, and I tripped. Not badly, thank goodness, just enough to catch myself. But in that moment, I realized how close I came to really falling. At this age, we don't bounce back from falls the way we used to. A bad fall could mean weeks in a hospital or worse. That next day, I told my son what happened. He came over that weekend with a few small devices and said, "Dad, we're going to fix this." What he installed were simple motion-activated lights. You plug them into an outlet or stick them on the wall, and whenever someone walks by, they light up the area around them. No switches, no fumbling in the dark. He put one near the bedroom door, one in the hallway, one in the bathroom, and another near the stairs. That night, when I got up, the moment I took a step toward the door, the lights came on softly. Not too bright, just enough to see everything clearly, and I felt calm. Safe, like someone had left the light on just for me. These lights don't cost much. You can find them online or at a local hardware store, but what they give you is worth so much more. Confidence. You move around your house with more certainty. You stop worrying about bumping into furniture or missing a step. That might sound small, but in retirement, it's these little things that can add up and make a big difference in how you feel day to day. Since then, I've recommended motion lights to every friend I've got. Some laughed at first until they tried them. Now they swear by them too. 3. A simple tablet to stay connected. When I first retired, I thought I'd spend my days reading books, working in the yard, and maybe doing a puzzle here and there. and for a while, I did just that. But over time, I started to feel a little cut off. The phone would ring less often. The days got longer, and honestly, I began to miss the sound of familiar voices, especially from my grandkids. One day, my youngest granddaughter Ava said to me, "Grandpa, why don't you get one of those tablets so we can video call you?" I smiled and said, "Sweetheart, I barely know how to use my phone," but she insisted. So, for my birthday that year, my son gave me a basic tablet with a big screen and large icon. He sat with me and showed me how to use it, how to answer a video call, how to check the weather, and even how to watch some of my favorite old movies. At first, I was nervous. I didn't want to press the wrong button or mess anything up. But over time, it started to feel natural. And suddenly, I wasn't so alone anymore. I could see my grandkids' faces, hear their voices, and even read them a bedtime story through the screen. I could message my daughter when I missed her, and when I couldn't sleep, I'd watch old documentaries, cooking shows, or those funny animal videos that always make me laugh. The tablet became more than a gadget. It became a lifeline, a way to stay in touch with the people who matter most, a way to keep my mind active, and a way to keep learning new things even at 70 years old. Now, I'm not saying you have to be a tech expert. I still mess things up sometimes, but that's okay. The point was never to turn myself into some tech expert. What mattered was staying plugged into the world instead of letting days slip by in silence. I realized something over time. Loneliness doesn't always arrive with emptiness or quiet moments. Sometimes it creeps into routine, through distance, through those little gaps between phone calls and those weeks when no one visits. A simple tablet changed that for me. It became a window back into my family's life. Even from hundreds of miles away, I could send a message, watch a video call, or see a photo of my grandkids the same day it was taken. It didn't make me younger, but it made me present again. Another thing that surprised me was how much order in small places affects your peace of mind. My medicine cabinet was the perfect example. For years, it was a disaster. Bottles with faded labels, creams I forgot why I bought, vitamins pushed to the back like old souvenirs, and a thermometer I hadn't seen in forever. Every time I actually needed something, I felt like I was digging through a junk drawer with blurry eyes. The day I mixed up my morning and evening pills was the wake-up call. Nothing dangerous happened, but it rattled me. It reminded me that being careless with medication isn't just frustrating, it can be risky. So I decided to finally sort things out. I emptied the whole cabinet, tossed everything expired or unrecognizable, and kept only what I truly needed. I got a weekly pill organizer with morning and evening sections so I wouldn't have to think twice anymore. I bought a few small drawers and separated them by purpose. Cold and flu stuff in one, pain relief in another, first aid supplies in the third. I picked up a reliable blood pressure machine, a simple digital thermometer, and even a pulse oximeter, just in case. I printed bigger labels, the kind I could read without squinting. Now when I open that cabinet, everything makes sense. Nothing is lost, nothing surprises me, and nothing feels chaotic. It's not that I suddenly turned into a health professional. I just removed a layer of stress from my daily life. In retirement, peace of mind is worth more than ever. If your cabinet looks anything like mine used to, take the time. Your future self will thank you, and so will your family. Another thing I had to relearn was something so basic: drinking enough water. When I was working, coffee was practically a food group. Water never crossed my mind unless it came with a restaurant meal. But after retiring, my days were quieter, my movements slowed down, and I didn't feel thirsty the way I used to. One winter I felt drained, stiff, and foggy, and I chalked it up to getting older. But my doctor asked a simple question: how much water do you drink? I honestly had no clue. He explained that as we age, our thirst signal weakens even though our need for hydration doesn't. That stuck with me. So I bought a countertop water filter because I figured if water tasted better, I'd drink more of it. I also bought one big glass I genuinely liked holding. That became my daily water companion. Each morning I fill it, and throughout the day I keep sipping. Before breakfast, after lunch, sometime in the evening. I don't track it obsessively, but I stay aware. In just a couple weeks I felt better, sharper, less sluggish, and even my joints stopped complaining so much. It amazed me that something so simple made such a difference. If you're living on caffeine and forgetting water, consider this your nudge. Make it easy. Put filtered water where you can see it. Use a glass that feels good in your hand. Build a small routine around it. Another upgrade that changed my life more than I expected was getting proper walking shoes. I had always grabbed whatever old pair was lying around. But older feet don't want the shoes we wore decades ago. They demand comfort and support. I learned that the hard way. Aching knees, sore heels, tight calves after just a short stroll. It made me dread walking, and that's not a feeling I wanted to live with. A friend of mine said something that stuck. Your feet carry your whole life, treat them right. So I went to a proper shoe store, got fitted, and invested in a pair built for the way I walk today, not how I walked years ago. The difference was unbelievable. Suddenly walking felt natural again. I started going out most mornings, sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes 30. I breathe deeper, wave to neighbors, clear my mind. It feels like freedom. Another important change was getting a personal medical alert device. For a long time, I resisted the idea because it made me feel, well, old. But one afternoon I got dizzy reaching into a cabinet, and it hit me. If something truly happened, how long would I be there before anyone knew? My son had suggested the device before, and this time I listened. Now I wear a simple little button that can call for help instantly. I hope I never use it, but knowing it's there gives me confidence, not fear. And then there's something lighter, something I call my joy fund. Just a tiny bit of money set aside for the things that make me smile. Pancakes at an old diner, a new book, a class I've never tried, little sparks that remind me life isn't just about staying safe, but staying alive inside. It's not about the amount, it's about permission to feel joy for no practical reason. The last thing I keep near me is a handwritten notebook I started a few years ago. It's filled with moments from my life, stories, memories, small lessons, and pieces of who I am. I don't write it for show. I write it so that one day, my grandkids or even their kids might read it and hear my voice in the margin. Not advice, not instructions, just me. These changes weren't grand or impressive. They were small steps that stitched together a life that feels steadier, fuller, and more connected. And if someone else can find even one idea here that makes their own days a little easier or brighter, then sharing this is worth it.